Hey there! I was contacted by Benny, and Benny said, I have a pen, I'm not using it. May I send it to you? You can have it. I said, yeah, how about you send it to me, I review it, and then I find a home for it. He said, that's great. That's what happened. Now, I don't have the box for this pen, but it's a Pelikan. You may have seen Pelikan boxes in some of my other videos, but look up Pelikan, you'll see it, the coffin type box. And this is a Pelikan M400 Tortoise, in other words, the tortoise. It's not the vintage model, it's the modern reincarnation, and I don't believe I have reviewed it. I couldn't find it on my own website, so I don't think I've reviewed it. So I thought I would do that. It has an italic broad nib, and one lucky viewer is going to get it at some point. I'll come up with how that works by the end of this video. So, the tortoise. Let's talk about it. It was one of those limited productions that Pelikan did, where they I'm pretty sure they don't produce it anymore. They produce it for a certain period of time. Not a certain number of pens, but a certain period of time. I know that Eric bought one. They're nice pens. They're in the smaller the small end of the spectrum for Pelikans, but you can post them. They're very comfortable, they're very nice, and they have a 14 karat nib, which is very nice. So I'm going to cover the parts of the pen. I'll do a writing sample. I'll tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Let's get started. Okay, the Pelikan M400 Tortoise. I don't have the box, and that's perfectly fine, but I will talk a bit about the pen and I'll do a writing sample. Here we have the pen right next to a Pilot Metropolitan. So you can see this is a pen on the smaller end of the spectrum, right? There you have the 400 and the 600. You have the 800 and the 1000. So I mean, it's on the smaller side. This is the same size as the 200. The 200 and the 400 are the same size. I always forget where the 600 fits in, but I think it's the 200 and the 400 that are the same size. Okay. On top, you have this finial, which has the little pelican feeding its chick, which is always a cute design. It's gone through some revisions over the years, but that's about what we have. We have the clip, which is the stylized pelican with its eyes and the bill, which I always think is quite nice, classy, and good eye for detail, because you really need to look at it to see the pelican, which is nice. Also, now living in Alberta, I've seen pelicans in the wild for the first time, which was very exciting to me, by the way. Okay, we have a little center band. It says Souverän, Germany, Pelikan, Souverän, etc. We have this wonderful material. I'll try to put it a bit closer so you can see it. I think it's a very nice material, nice brown striations, and it is translucent. Not easy way to show you, but it is translucent. If I hold it up to the light, I can immediately see how much ink is left in the pen, which is quite nice. What else do we have? We have the turning knob, 2 gold rings there, and for the record, it was pointed out to me, I think, when I did the M800 review in the tortoise material, the cap and the turning knob are not actually black. They're a very deep dark brown. Hard to tell on camera. Sorry, this is really difficult because of the way the camera is mounted, but it is a very deep dark brown. Okay, you unscrew the cap. The nice thing about the Pelikans is they unscrew very easily. There can also be a downside if you keep them in pockets, be a little careful. But here we have the pen section, tapers down, flares out a little bit, nice little gold ring there. For me, it's a little on the small side, so I would use this pen posted. And here we have the 14 karat italic broad bicolor nib, very nice, and with a plastic feed. These nib units screw out, so you can very easily obtain replacement nibs or other nibs if IB is not your cup of tea, and switch them out. And that's it. As I said, piston fill pen, piston turning knob, holds a nice amount of ink, and I think what we need to do next is see how it writes. Now, when Pelikan says this is an italic broad nib, they are not kidding. It may not look like a huge nib, but that looks like quite a bit of broadness going on there. So let's see how this writes. Here we have Pelikan M400 Tortoise. I'm not going to write that down. Italic broad. Ackermann. Delfts Blau. singing nib. Can you hear it? I'll shut up so you can listen. That is some juice. I love it. It's a lot of fun. Did I not zoom out enough? Oh my god, I apologize. Amateur. Okay, it's wet and it's wide. Very much fun to be had with this. It's a lot. Okay, line variation. Yeah, I mean you can push down on this, but why would you? You already get a lot of line variation just from using it like this. Yeah, sorry, that made no sense. Line variation because of the way the nib is cut, right? An italic nib, broad downstroke, narrow side stroke, so no real reason to push down on anything. Not a flex nib anyway. Reverse writing, it remains italic because of the way the nib is cut. This is truly a flat, sort of like squarish block of tipping, and it seems to really be italic. It's look at the corners, it's fairly sharp. This is not really rounded off, so it's not really a stub. I really think this is pretty italic. It's a lot of fun, and one of you is gonna win this. Let's talk about likes and dislikes. What do I like? What do I not like about the M400 Tortoise? I think the material is wonderful. I've always really liked this material. It's not quite the same as the vintage Tortoise that Pelikan had, but I do think it's very nice. It's also translucent, so although there's no ink window on the pen, you can hold it up to the light and you can see exactly how much ink is left. I know that you don't really have that benefit, but take my word for it. So that's very nice. I did look up. I had an old email from Akkerman in The Hague, where Eric bought one of these. To give you an idea of the price, it was about 270 euros at the time, and I think that was without the VAT. So my plus 21% in Europe. Anyway, the pens, as far as I know, are sold out in most places. It's a cute pen. It writes very well. I find the Pelikan, especially in the broad end of nibs, can be a bit over polished. This one is fine. It's a true broad, beautiful italic nib. Very pleasant to use, very nice. I think that's a really pleasant pen. So all of that is really cool. It is, as I said, a bit on the smaller end for me, but even for me, when posted, it's comfortable to use, and that's not really a fair criticism because there's also a 600, an 800, a 1000, not necessarily in this material, but you know, if you want a bigger pen, then you should buy one of those. I also like that the turning knob and the cap, they look like they're black, but they're actually, I don't know how well you can see, but they're a very deep brown, which someone pointed out to me at some point. I never even really noticed, but that's true, so that's very nice. And that's it. Here we go. A nice, lovely pen, very comfortable to write with. I'm going to give away this pen among my patrons. Patreon.com/SBREBrown. These are people who support my videos by giving me a certain amount of money for every video I upload. I think those people are really to be thanked, and I'm very grateful for them, because making videos like these is a lot of work, and I do 3 a week on top of a job, a life, etc. So I think the patrons deserve something special. Among them, there will be a random draw. You can join in. It can be for as little as, say, $1 a month. Like, it doesn't, like, we're not talking massive amounts of money necessarily, but that's where we are. I'm very grateful to the patrons, and therefore this goes to one of them. That's the way it is. So I hope this was useful. By the end of the month, I will draw a winner, and that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll gladly see you later. Bye!